Memories of Lex Luger. What are your thoughts of Lex when he first came into the company? He was trained by Hiro Matsuda down in Florida, then he came up and they put him with the Horsemen.
Big, tall, used to play football or something like that, right? Yeah. Yeah, he was a piece of crap.
Why is that?
Because he was. Don't ask me why he was.
A lot of people say Ole Anderson's very bitter at the world. What do you say to the people that say Ole's bitter?
Who cares?
All right.
Does everybody like you?
Absolutely not.
Well, there you go.
Exactly.
What's the difference?
Okay.
Lex Luger was, to me, a guy, when he got hurt, one time I remember he got hurt, he stayed out for like a month and a half. I know guys, I got sliced, over 100 stitches in my chest. I thought that I was going to die. I missed one damn day. And I went back to wrestling. I ripped these damn stitches out every damn time, and I had to get stitched up again. I got sliced on my hand here. My thumb isn't any good. By another guy. I never missed a day. They put a cast on my arm one time. Said that cast is indestructible. Can't do it. Wahoo McDaniel stomped all over that cast and broke the damn cast in my arm again.
Huh.
I never missed a day. But Lex Luger, oh yeah, he'd miss 2 weeks, he'd miss 1 week, he'd miss 3. He was getting paid no matter what he did. It didn't make a shit. To me, he was just a waste of time.
After they turned you babyface with the Horsemen, you didn't stick around very long in the company. Why was that?
I didn't want to be around anymore.
Okay.
What the hell was I be around for?
You did come back eventually, and you guys reformed the Horsemen and feuded with Sting. Was there ever a chance that Tully would have gotten involved again?
Who?
Tully Blanchard? Because he had left the company, and he went to work for Vince, and then he got fired from Vince.
Good.
Right.
I hate him too.
But there was never a chance that he was ever going to come back into the company, or you don't really remember that?
Listen, I left the damn thing in what year was it? When were the Four Horsemen? 1986?
Yeah.
That's when I left.
Okay.
That was it for me. My son was wrestling, amateur.
You came back in '89, though, I think, a little bit.
I came back in '89 to be with Arn.
Right, and that's when
the idea was we were going to work with the, who were the two guys that were wrestlers? Steiners.
Right.
We did an angle with the Steiners in January, December of what's the year now you just told me?
89, we're talking?
Yeah, 89. We did an angle with the Steiners. Maybe it was in January of 1990. I'm not quite sure what. And we expected that to be real big. It was a hell of a deal, I think. But Arn broke his damn neck. And we went down to St. Pete. The first match, I think it was packed, but we couldn't wrestle. And that ended the whole damn thing. Arn had to do what he had to do to take care of his neck. And that was it. And the whole thing just died right there.
What are your memories of Jim Herd?
Think you can think of the worst words that you know. Think of the dumbest people that you've ever met, and they would probably be not enough to describe Jim Herd.
So you like the guy?
He told me I want to hire you, and you do like I say. I said, all right, but you do the booking. I said, all right, I'll do the booking. I said, if I book and it doesn't work, I said, you can say it's my fault because it is my fault. I said, but if I'm booking and you tell me what to book and it doesn't work, then you stand up for it and you say that you're the one that made that decision. Not me. You made the decision, so you take the blame for it.
Right.
So, anyway.
Well, when your son Brian got into the business...
say it again.
Your son Brian, when he got into the business? Bryant. Okay.
Bryant.
Okay, were you for or against it?
Sure, I was for it.
Okay. Were you surprised that Eric Bischoff let him go so soon?
No. Eric Bischoff is a piece of crap in my opinion.
Why is that?
Because he is. He wrote a letter to Turner, which got him his job, which basically said he was running everything for Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne hired Eric Bischoff to do the same thing that I hired Eric Bischoff for. That was to do a little TV announcing and crap like that. But Eric Bischoff was smart enough to do something that I was incapable of doing, or didn't do, and that is suck ass. And he got a hold of this guy that I'm trying to remember, and I can't remember the goddamn guy's name is. He was the head of it. He was on the Turner's board.
Do you remember the first name? I'll probably get it if you say the first name.
I can't remember the first name.
Okay.
He's the only guy that you'll find. He was on the board, Turner's board of directors.
I'll find out. But keep on going.
Anyway, if I'd have just shut the hell up. What the hell was the question again?
We were talking about we were talking basically about Bryant and Eric Bischoff. You were talking about why you don't like Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, well, Eric Bischoff, like I say, was busy every day, or tried to do every day, go to lunch with this boss. And he was always kissing somebody's butt. And he's always talking, here, try this one.
Right.
But I started the damn thing.
Do you think contracts killed WCW?
No, they didn't have any business no matter what they were going to do. If they didn't pay them any money, they still wouldn't make any money.
Right. Getting back to you and your son Brian, Jim Cornette has says that Bryant, that's what I said. Jim Cornette has said that you and Bryant got fired because you did business with him on WCW's property. Is that true?
I got fired because Eric Bischoff was running everything. Eric Bischoff fired me, fired Greg Gagne. Greg Gagne didn't have nothing to do with what's his face.
Right.
He fired who's the guy, little guy from Tennessee that wrestled?
Lawler?
Who?
Bill Dundee?
Bill Dundee.
Right.
He fired Bill Dundee, he fired Greg Gagne, he fired my son, and he fired me. Then he fired somebody else. Very important. Who did he fire?
This was man. Go ahead.
Jim Barnett.
Okay.
He fired Jim Barnett. So it's got nothing to do with anything else that they're talking about. Eric Bischoff wanted to take over, and that's what he ended up doing. He took over, and he ran the damn thing until they went out of business.
In Bischoff's book, he actually said that Blackjack Mulligan. He said that Blackjack Mulligan ratted you out. I guess to Bischoff for talking about him behind his back.
Yeah. What happened? Eric Bischoff made it clear to everybody that if they heard something about me or I said something, they were immediately to let him know, whoever it was. So Blackjack Mulligan and I were at the little training center that we had. And we were working with 12, 13 guys, whatever it was, trying to break them into the business. Which is a waste of time and stupid to begin with, but in any event, that's what we were doing. And I said to, one of the guys was from Sweden or some damn place. I forgot what his name was. Could wrestle a little bit. And anyway, that guy from Sweden, I think it was Sweden or maybe Norway, I don't know, one of the damn, not Finland, but Sweden.
Right.
He said, listen, how would you like to come to Sweden or whichever country? I said, what do you mean? He says, I think we can put together a damn good deal up there where I can get some people who've got some money and we can promote wrestling up there. I said, I'll tell you what, you find somebody that's got $2 million, I'll go. Then put up another how many millions of dollars you got to have, because the $2 million is for me. I'll go, and I'll do whatever you think you want done. You line up. He says, I'll line it all up. He said, don't worry, I'll line it all up. The guy that heard it was
Blackjack Mulligan.
Blackjack Mulligan. What a stupid bunch of shit. Blackjack Mulligan couldn't work to get a hold of Eric Bischoff to tell him that Ole was planning on taking talent to go to Norway or Sweden or where the hell ever and run wrestling.
Right.
Like, what difference would it fucking make if I did it anyway? What the hell would it,
Right.
It got nothing to do with the people over here in the United States. Well, anyway, that was Eric Bischoff's reason, or a reason, supposedly, to fire my ass. But that wasn't the real reason. He just didn't want me, because I would say stuff about all kinds of shit.
Right.
And he was in charge. And like I say, he fired me, he fired Bill Dundee, he fired, who else did I say? Greg Gagne. And then he ended up firing Jim Barnett.
Jim Barnett.
What was Jim Barnett trying to do? Nothing.
What was Jim Cornette doing at the company at the time? What was he?
Nothing.
What was his role?
Nothing.
Huh.
He was getting paid by Ted Turner because Ted Turner felt sorry for him.
Right.
And Ted Turner had enough money he was throwing around anyway. What's the difference?